Anyways, all right, motherfuckers, I got a guess here. Jordan Bradley Schultz, a.k.a. Joe Bradley, is in the building. Look at this handsome bastard.
Look at this sexy big-ass freak right here, dude.
Oh, yeah. Well,
miss you, man.
I know.
Virtual hug.
I got Shadow
Virtual
here.
hug.
Yeah, that'll work. That'll work.
You were my protector, my friend, my bodyguard, and my homie for so many years, dude. I don't know how I wouldn't be alive if it wasn't for Johnny. If it wasn't for Johnny Ruckus carrying my ass everywhere, bumming me smokes. I think I owe him 72 cartons of cigs at least. At least.
I won't be cashing in on those. Yeah, I carried you while you broke your ankle.
Yeah. Oh yeah, nice injury. I mean, at least I went out in like at least it was really heroic and valiant the way that I broke it, slipping on the ice drunk.
Yep.
Right.
Hammered. And then you crawled up the stairs. I was so good to you, I didn't even help you up the stairs. I just left you.
Oh, the good old days.
Oh, my Lord. Yeah, well.
Actually, it was great. Those were great days, but I wasn't in the smartest mind.
No, me neither. I talked to many people about back then going, I don't know how I'm here. Really?
Yeah, I don't know either, man. We did a lot. We had a lot of fun. Put it that way. We had a lot of fun back in the day.
True.
Johnny and I.
True. We had a lot of fun. We had a lot of issues, but we had a lot of fun dealing with those issues with the air quotes.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That's all right.
Well, you are one of the most creative musicians I was able to play with.
Aw.
All the time. Oh, heart hands.
Thanks, Dad. Thank you, Dad.
Yeah, I know, right?
Can I pretend that you're my dad? That just said that.
I'm of that age, damn it. I got fucking New Balances. I make dad jokes.
Oh, yeah.
I don't have any children, but I'm just of that age. Okay. I'm just of that age.
Do you have a fluffy dog? Do you have a dog that is fluffy?
No, but I got
No?
3 cats and one is a fucking devil. So
So yeah, you are old now.
I am washed. I'm old and washed. That's for sure.
Well, no, that's very kind of you. You as well, and I don't know how much to dive into with the audience, but yeah, I mean, Johnny and I go way back to the music days, decades, 2 decades, let's say.
Yeah.
And better part of 2 decades and ago. And, we had a project together, Breathe the Silence, which was so fun and awesome while it was a thing. And, what a mixture of personalities we had in that band.
Yeah.
And you had other projects going on. I had Child on Fire going on. And those were the days we were just busy making music, playing music nonstop.
Yep.
And, having a good time in between the shows and partying and just living and doing whatever. And yeah, I wouldn't trade those memories for anything. Those were a blast. And, that was like kind of the early 20s, mid 20s for me. And I know you were 42, 43 back then.
Now I'm just dirt.
He's a little older. No.
I'm a tad older. I'm not horribly older. I don't even remember, but yeah, I a couple of podcasts ago, I was talking about how I met 215, and part of that was in Breathe the Silence. And I did mention how I got you. Come and help us, come and help us. And then I got you drunk and made you join the band. So I remember that. I kind of told that story a little bit because it all led into meeting the guys from 215, but that was definitely a part of it for sure.
And it's funny too, because that is how it went down. But now I think back to that very first jam session that I kind of sat in on. I was looking at that bass player, man, and I love everybody, but I was like, give me that fucking bass, dude. Let me rip on that bass. And that's kind of all it took. Plus, you guys were making good music. We were making great music. Johnny, you are a creative music writer as well. You did the bulk of the songwriting in there. You and Ben Bird, rest in peace. But we had a great time, and I contributed very, very little to that band. I played bass. I had epic stage presence, of course, but but no, and then lots of sweat. I could sweat a lot too, and party. But no, you were the brains of that operation for sure. And you're very fucking creative, dude. I'm trying to think of like that Storm of the Century song. That's the one that always lingers in my mind since that time period. Yeah. And I know all the riffs. You know what I mean? Like I remember, there's very few of those that I could probably pick up a guitar and play now. But that one for sure I could, because I was so impressed by that song that you wrote. So
I actually, I haven't worked on it in a long time, but I actually re-recorded music to that. And I'm like, I can't sing. I could still sing my part, but like Ben's part or your part, no fucking way. But I programmed the drums to it, but I haven't touched it in like a couple years, because we had talked about that. I don't know, maybe it was when I did your podcast. Like, I don't know if that was when we talked about it, but I was like, I'm going to revisit that, because our recording fucking sucked. But for what it was like going in the studio with BTS, that was interesting. I don't know. Look, I don't know who that guy was that recorded us, dude. He basically like hung up a couple mics in a big warehouse and was like, "All right, I'm recording." And he made my guitar sound like fucking. I was like, "What are you doing to my amp?" And I was just letting him. What the hell am I gonna say? I was just let him do it. Yeah. Mine must have just been like it was all nasally and honky. I was like, what the hell happened here?
Yeah, it's it's amazing probably what you and I could do if we had the equipment in front of us now compared to back then, right? Like, dude, I've learned so much about recording in the last couple of years, and I know you have doing your own thing too. It's like we really do have. It's weird being in 2022 right now, and this is for musicians and people that might be interested. Yeah. You have all the tools you need for the lowest cost ever to self-produce, and that is a beautiful fact about technology these days. You really just need your instruments, an interface, a good one that won't break on you, PreSonus, you fuckers, and a good computer, and and then the know-how, and you got to sit down and you got to learn the program. But I mean, if you're really passionate about that stuff, you can do it, and you don't have to go to a huge studio, book all these hours, and then have a producer tell you that you suck over and over. You can take your time in your own house to record. And I think that's really fun, and that's what I love to do. That's why I haven't been to any other studios in the last 5-6 years, because whatever it's been, because we've been slowly building out ours and like just learning as we go using Logic Pro 10, which, even some of the best producers out there say is actually a worthy DAW, like not everybody likes that one. I like it because it's easy, it's simplified. And that's just what I've learned on. I have a Mac, it's just what came with it or whatever. Yeah. But, I've learned to make some good recordings, and like I've impressed some people before with some of them. So that's like a good feeling. It's like, I taught myself how to do that shit,
Yeah. And I mean, I've been ghetto recording I ghetto recorded the first BTS stuff. Oh yeah. And I remember I ghetto recorded stuff when I was in high school. So like, yeah, I've been recording on zero budget for forever. And then, I run Reaper. Yeah. And shit, that's fucking $60, and it's
I was awesome. Gonna say, isn't that free?
Yeah, you can. They would like you to pay $60 when the evaluation period is done, but the secret to the evaluation period, it is never actually done, nor is it a demo version. So it's a complete full version as soon as you download it, and then they go, "Hey, you should pay us now, but if you don't want to, it's okay." So
thank you, Reaper, right? That's awesome.
Yeah. So and it's it's got everything. It's super powerful. Well, the guys from, you remember Winamp back in like the late 90s?
Oh my God. Yeah. That rings a bell.
The guys who wrote Winamp sold Winamp to whoever the hell that was like 25 years ago or whatever, and then created Reaper.
So I remember Reaper being pretty popular with I won't say amateurs, but basically the people dabbling, the people that wanted to learn, and they needed something that would do the job. I know my guy Cody Ratley. Shout out Cody.
Shout out.
He used that to record our song "A Healer in Hell," and which was like 2013, one of our songs, "Child on Fire," and one of the best recordings I've heard. So you know what you're doing. You can make it happen.
Yeah,
absolutely.
and a DAW isn't the DAW doesn't affect the sound whatsoever. It doesn't matter what you use. It's just how you use it, So I know dudes that they use Fruity Loops as their DAW,
Yeah.
And it's like, it's not what I would use, but that doesn't matter. It's still, they do good shit. So it's like, it doesn't matter really, But yeah, you like using Logic. You're used to it. You know how it works. It works for you. Use that. If someone wants to use Pro Tools, I think it's overrated. But if that's what you use, hey man, that's all right. There ain't nothing wrong with it. So
Amen.
It's just expensive as shit.
Mm-hmm.
But,
yeah, it is. It's like $1,200, isn't it?
Yeah, or you got to like pay like per month or per year or something like that now.
Jesus.
Yeah. Yeah. But it's the industry standard, whatever that means these days. So, what are you going to do? But yeah, so you're not doing, you do have Child on Fire, but it's not what it was, call it 10 years ago or whatever, where you guys are playing a bunch of shows and you're a full band. It's you and Ian. And I don't know if you're sending Lyle any tracks ever. Is that what happened?
Yeah,
with bass,
I'll break it down. So, we were the band, we did the Pipe Dream for upwards probably of 14, 15 years. Mm-hmm. And then everybody had something kind of pull them different directions. Lyle Wagner, the bass player, he moved to Nashville. You could say around that time period is when I was getting married, becoming a dad. So that was about 7 years ago. And then Dan Wilkins, he quit prior, our other guitar player, he moved to Chicago. And then my drummer, Ian, he lives up in Fond du Lac, and he's always been up there. That was kind of our main headquarters for jamming. And he and I do some file sharing, so I'll record in my studio, he'll record in his, we'll send files back and forth. And he does the drums from his place. And Lyle Wagner also has been helping us recently, remotely from Nashville. Now he is a jack of all trades. I straight up, if I could say, he's probably playing a gig right now as we speak. Probably. Down in Nashville. Yeah. He's one of those guys. He is a music business. No, I think music business major. And he's a theory guy. He knows all the ins and outs of theory. He's like basically a prodigy bassist. And he will play you give him anything and he'll play it, and he'll play it better than you want him to. And he has been gigging actively nonstop in Nashville. And then at the same time, he works for Guitar Center Corporate down there, Corporate HQ down there. Oh, all so right. He's got a nice setup down there, and he's constantly doing project work, or gigging and whatnot. Yeah. And kudos to him for rocking and rolling down in Nashville, kind of doing the dream. He just bought a house down there, so that's very exciting.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, now to be honest, the music has slowed. So despite that kind of arrangement in the last couple years, because of sold out media coming to the fore, a lot of things going on, soldout.tv and other things, I definitely have slowed in my in the musical space. And I've also been a little, just personally speaking, I've been a little more interested in, I don't want to say softer music. It's not that I'm interested in softer music. I've been playing acoustic more is kind of the way to put it. And kind of thinking in more terms of like, being multi-genred, if you will. And I'm talking, there's a few other people I'm talking to about projects, and I'm trying to help other musicians in various ways too, because soldout.tv and Sold Out Media, it's not just like a podcast. There's a lot of tentacles coming into the forward now. Yep. And I'm promoting certain musicians in various capacities who are contributing to the platform, like yourself, Johnny, in a sense, but a few other things that are going on. So it's like I'm constantly immersed in like the musical realm, if you will, but it's in terms of like Child on Fire production, that has been slowed. It's not going to be stopped. It's just kind of been in a weird, everything's kind of coalesced in the last couple of months. Like I was telling you about the real estate thing too, like everything just got kind of, it was just a mess for a while trying to get all this off the ground. So I am one of those creatives where I go in waves where like, you know, I can have a long stint of like, I can't fucking play anything. I can't even like my guitar hates me. Like I cannot sing. And then I'll have like a wave of like actual, like, wow, like a surge of creativity. And I've always kind of, I think when I was younger or more active, like early 20s and all that, when Child on Fire was like at its kind of its peak time period, I think that I was that's all I had, right? That was all I had going. So that was all I poured myself into. And then as you get older, it's like, I'm 35 now, I have so many different projects, you know, being a dad, being a husband, martial arts, and, you know, building out Sold Out Media. And then at the same time, trying to start a real estate career. So it's like, it really just, it is what it is. It's hard to prioritize. It's hard to sit down. It's one of those things too, where if the creativity hits you, and you're not able to like sit down and grind on it, right? That can be like as cumbersome as the opposite, where you don't have the creativity, but you have all these other things that are pressing or whatever. So, you know, it's tricky. And I guess the answer, I don't really have the answer to that other than like just constantly be pushing yourself to write, sit down and do the work. But it seems like I've entered kind of a period where I really do need to pay more attention to when it hits me instead of like try to force myself to sit down and write a song. Because I don't want that song to be shit. I want it to be good. I want it to be real. And I think also moving into the space of recording yourself and having the ability to take your time with it kind of makes you lazy. It kind of makes me want to take it really does. Or you become more of a perfectionist where I'm not fucking satisfied with the take I just did, you know, 200 times, or, you know, you revisit it later and you're like, oh, I can play that better. And that is for sure a curse that I have. I've sat on files for way too long. I've sat on, you know, vocals, like certain things where I'm just like, oh, I hate myself, you know? So like you get pissed and you want to go back to the drawing board sometimes, but that's kind of the way it is being, I guess, a musician, being in Joe Bradley's head is you gotta just navigate it the best way you can, but not to be long-winded, but yeah, Child on Fire is definitely, it still exists. However, it's definitely taking a different form. And there's stuff coming. There's stuff coming in the future. And I don't know if it'll ever kind of end, because the cool thing about Ian and Lyle and I is because it is remote now. Like essentially we can operate on the pace we want. It's not like we're rushing out to play shows. I don't know if we'll play shows again, to be honest. I don't know if that will happen again, because it's just the logistics of it isn't really, you know, possible really at this point. Maybe it would take a lot of work. It would take a lot of work and logistical effort, like the Lost in a Name, shout out Lost in a Name. Those two guys, you know, they're a duo, same thing, lead singer with a guitar and a drummer, but they backline the other instruments. They have, you know, it's just a computer running some of it and running the lights and all. It's just like, holy crap, you know, I'd rather pay someone to set that up. I don't even want to do that. Or I'd rather have band members, right? I'd rather have people that are playing the instruments. So the idea of playing live shows again and whatnot, I don't know. But I will say this, just as a little promotional kind of thing, soldout.tv, if you do become a member, one of the things that we are doing is having in-studio performances. So, you know, and this is something that we just started up a couple months ago, but off to my side here is a little, I won't call it a stage, but it's like an area where it looks pretty cool to do like a performance. And we'll do like multicam, straight up live into the DAW, so I can actually record it live and then go back, kind of make it sound really good and big. Yeah. And that is the one of the tentacles. That's one piece of what soldout.tv, that the vision is actually having people come in raw with just them and an acoustic, or them and a piano or whatever, and record and let me do the magic. You come, you play off to the side right here in the studio, and then I will put out a production that is video and just a beautiful live performance. And there's only one place you're going to see it, soldout.tv. And that's one of my big things is I want to feature artists. I want to feature local musicians from the bottom right of Wisconsin that are talented, that are willing to come here and do a little mini performance. And then I'll take it, work my magic, try to put it out on the platform. That's one little thing that is part of the vision. So, the musical stuff is transforming into something different with video incorporated.
Sure.
And something that is for the lover of that content. Like, and Johnny, I don't know if you might appreciate this now, maybe, doing this kind of work with the media. I know I'm ranting, but doing all this kind of work with the media, if you're working your ass off to do this, I know how much work it takes to do the production, the video, the audio, get it all set up, and then export it, run it through Handbrake, compress it, upload it, and promote it, and all that. It can be kind of daunting, and you're not making any money, like unless you're like, I don't know, got millions and millions of hits or whatever the case is. But if you really want to make a business out of a career, let's say. I want to target the folks that love that kind of thing, right? So, for $3.69 a month, you're going to get access to this stuff that you can't find anywhere else, because it's not about having like tons and tons of people that can access it. It's about having the folks that access it, they love it. It's like almost like a cult, but not really a cult. You know what I'm saying? Where like it means it's like a club. It means more to them. It's
a community, yeah.
Versus like, oh yeah, I'll just rip that from YouTube. Like I think I got so sickened by the censorship in the last 2 years that I had to deal with. That story. I kind of told a little bit about that in the past, but you've seen it. I've texted you before when I get like taken off of crap, but like. I think I got so sickened by all of the different platforms and all their convoluted rules that even with the musical content, I wanted to take that to an independent venue, because I just got so tired of it, man. And I want the world, like there's so much stuff out there. If you really want access to what Brittany and I are bringing to the table is Sold Out Media and other affiliated folks and associated folks that are combining their talents with us, then, it's going to cost you a little less than a fucking Starbucks coffee per month. And you get a whole bunch of content. That content list only increases over time. So, that's the goal, is to give people not like a Netflix, but think of it like a mini little portal where you get all this stuff. And with technology on the rise, now you can do it on, there's so many places that you'll be able to access this stuff. Hopefully in the near future, it'll be cool. And it looks like it's even going to be possible in the very near future. If not, it is already, but the pricing is crazy now, but it looks like in the near future, it wouldn't be impossible to have a Sold Out Media app, Sold Out TV app, where you straight up download it, and it's just a plain Jane simple app. But there you go. You can plug it into your TV, you can plug it into your big screen, your computer, whatever, and on your tablet or whatnot. And then you can be listening to the podcasts in the car, or you can be listening to the music that we recorded, access all that stuff, watch, in 4K on your TV. Those days are coming. That stuff's coming, and it's very exciting. And I hope to have something kind of fresh and like really exciting as this passion project evolves.
Yeah. Well, yeah. So that we were talking about the music and how you grow up and you guys go this. You spread out, not necessarily go your separate ways, but you spread out, and then because of that, you're not being able to get and do a practice, or whatever.
Right.
So, but you're a psycho in the best ways, where like you like to stay busy. Your brain is always going, and you always have these ideas. So this is like a transition from being a band and then still getting your creative fill, if you will.
Well, no worries. Because what else is interesting, though, is I had no idea, Johnny, that I loved making video. I had no idea that I loved editing video. I never explored that side of my mind ever, right?
Yeah.
So when I got into the podcast, right, over 2 years ago,
yeah.
And by the way, shout out, Johnny was my second guest ever on the podcast, and he did my season 1 finale. So, and to this date, it's by far the longest podcast I've ever done in my life. A whopping 5-hour fucking podcast. And actually, just today, in preparation for this, I posted that on the soldout.tv Johnny Ruckus page. So if they go to that page now, that podcast episode is actually on there. But No, I had no idea that like I really love making videos. And then I started putzing around with the podcast. And then, of course, it led to those. I started making these mashup videos that started they kick off the episode of the podcast. And those started evolving into something. And I realized, holy crap, I can convey to the earth, I can convey to the rest of humanity very cool shit in so little time with these basic tools. And as a musician, I was none the wiser. I had no idea. I never explored it. It seemed way too complicated to me. I never thought twice about it. But now that I've dove into that, and again, kind of taught myself how to do the editing side and all that, all the technical stuff, now I fucking love it, man. I really enjoy it. And I have fantasies about once I'm a multimillionaire real estate agent, right? Getting us a real studio, getting a real studio, renting a space somewhere downtown Racine or somewhere that is straight up. We might not be living here years from now. We don't know. But having exactly what you need, a legit studio where people can come in and you record, and it's audio and video, and you can do a performance, an acoustic performance with multiple people. Like I have fantasies about that kind of thing. Yeah. Feature guests on there that are cool guests that are entrepreneurial or whatever, are just doing something really cool for the community or a musician or whatever. So me, man, I think big, and I try to grind at it. The big problem I run into, besides like the big tech giants and all the stupid nonsense out there. But the big mental block I run into is just kind of like, finding times of doubt, getting frustrated with stuff, and then just getting sick of my project, being too too doubtful about certain things, and just being like, man, that's going to suck. I got to, scratch that, start over. And, so I have those voices in my head that I got to fight off all the time. But I think that, now that they've knocked me down so many times with all that censorship, and I kept kind of trying to come back on a different platform, different platform. Hey, guess what? I found the ones that work, and then it led me to create soldout.tv. So like all that crap just made me decide. It made it even stronger, right? Made me even stronger in a sense, and more excited to say, fine, I'm not doing anyone's platform. I'm going to make my own thing. And it's going to be tiny and small at first, but then, word of mouth and people promoting it and getting good guests on there, people that, want to contribute to the platform because they actually kind of understand what I'm doing. Well, guess what? It's going the right way. And I could not give God more thanks for that, because it's been such a battle, dude. You understand how much work goes into this stuff. It's been a lot of sweat and frustration and technology issues and fucking legal issues, like issues with, just affording stuff like the LLC and getting a PO box and like things like that you just don't, I don't think of it. I don't like any of that stuff. I just want to be the creative,
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, and a lot of creative people, that's where they struggle, is the business part. Yeah. So if you can get any semblance of any understanding of that, or maybe if your wife has a little bit more or something that can kind of balance you out a little bit or something like that, it definitely helps. And just you've always had this ability to like persevere, like through the entire time I've known you, and it's always been like an ultra strength of yours is to persevere. And like,
oh, thanks, man.
How many fucking roadblocks have you had and you're just like, nope. And then, there's another one. Nope. Like you've done that your entire life, but definitely for the entire time that I've known you,
Well, thank you, man. That means a lot. Yeah. You've seen it. So, at least you can vouch for me in that sense that you've seen me kind of come across a lot of this stuff. And, I have my moments too. Like, okay, the other day, little story here. So the other day, and I wish I could show you. I have right in front of me right now are 4 interfaces. I have 4 interfaces. I'll get 3 PreSonus and 1 Scarlett. Which one do you think I'm using, Johnny?
Well, I would say you're probably using the Focusrite.
Yes, I am. Fucking PreSonus. So, and I'll show you. Look. Boom. Here's the first one I got. And I don't know. Oh, look at that. So here's the first one I got. Okay, yeah, this thing fucking died on me right away, dude.
Nice.
Little bastard. And then I was like, well, let's get his big brother here with the 2 inputs. Look at this guy. Yeah, he broke 2. He broke within like no time. And then the other one is it was my beast, my tank, which is it's rack mounted, but it's PreSonus Studio 1824C, an awesome 8-channel, heavy duty, badass interface, which was great. But guess what? Just the other day, I've only had it 2 years. The other day, it just gives out, bricked, gone. And the Focusrite, surprise, surprise, I've had for several years, and it bounces. Normally that's up in Brittany's studio, but
all right,
and now we have to trade it back and forth because I'm dealing with PreSonus support. And by the way, PreSonus, it's like they have, I don't know, it's like they have an incompetent 10-year-old running that shop. I don't know what it is about PreSonus tech support. But so far, it's just pure incompetency every step of the way. And I think I'm gonna have to send it in and like pay $175 to fix it if I want. So I'm a little perturbed. But those kind of issues, right? They left and right. And it's when that happened. Oh no, you know what? So that happened. That pissed me off. But guess what else happened at the same time? At the same time, on our website, soldout.tv, all of a sudden, all of our videos were removed. There was just a little. This just happened the other day, dude, and I was freaking out. So I wake up one morning and all the videos are every single Rumble video is removed, and there's like I don't know hundreds embedded across the website, and I was tripping balls, and now I'm on tech support with Squarespace, and I thought the worst happened. I thought we got censored. I thought Squarespace blocked our shit and said for whatever reason, that's what I went to, because obviously that's all I've seen for the last 2 years is censorship stuff. So I literally said to Brittany, I was like, if that is what it is, I said I was going to walk away from the whole thing. I was actually at a point where if I can't, if I'm building up my own platform and I put so much work into that, that if that is the case, that they're just going to do that, then I would have fucking just said, okay, I've taken every step I possibly could. That's God telling me, dude, this is not your calling. That's God telling me like it's time to do something else. If that was the case, but thankfully, and Brittany's tripping. She's like, don't just assume it's that. And sure as shit, after like a while of back and forth on the tech, they're like, yeah, everything's kind of fucked up right now, but we're gonna fix it. And then the next day it was fixed, and I was like, oh, my videos are back. I was tripping balls. So, and guess what? That happened. Both of those things happened this week. So like, nice. Welcome to my fucking world, right? That's the shit. That's not my world. That's creators' world. That's what some creators deal with. And that can be a little bit, that can give you heart palpitations. That can make your blood pressure boil a little bit when you pour so much into this, But I do it because I love people and I care about humanity and I care about reviving like a patriotic spirit and a freedom loving spirit within people and promoting awesome musicians and awesome bands and heavy music that I love. And there's a lot of artists that I communicate with and follow, and other creators, not just musicians, that share the same sentiment. They kind of believe in the same thing, the same stuff, and just wanna make the world better for everybody. So that's all it is. Shine a light on a lot of the bullshit. There's a lot of bullshit out there. Just try to help people see through it. My intention is pure. I always tell people to think for themselves. Don't ask me. I don't give you the answers. I don't say I'm the know-it-all. I just look at data. I just look at stuff and I share it with people. I say, this is what my research shows right here. This is the documents right here. And I think it's because I show the receipts, as I call it. Because we show the receipts, they take us down. I think that's the main reason they take channels like us down, is because it's one thing to say, I think this, I think this, that's a crazy theory. Yeah, well, hold on. Here's what the documents show. This is the document from Pfizer, from FDA, whatever it is, on whatever hot topic I might be going down. And, then they go, well, you can't, he's going right to the documents, take it down. I swear that's the line most of the time. Otherwise they just inadvertently, they'll just take you down if they don't like you. I've had videos about salsa censored for cyberbullying. According to YouTube, I had a video with me and my buddy Lucas where we're talking about growing and jarring peppers and salsa and making your own homemade hot sauce. There's nothing political, nothing about it that is controversial. And they took it down. They said this is cyberbullying. So I knew right then and there that no, there's some kind of issues. And then I've had 80 something videos removed in one swath on YouTube. On top of another 20, on top of another 10, on top of this one. So YouTube and me don't really get along. Facebook doesn't get along with me. Whatever.
Oh, fuck Facebook anyways. I'm actually probably right about now getting over a restriction on Facebook.
What'd you do, Johnny?
First one, I popped my cherry. I popped my cherry myself. How about that?
Congratulations. I'm proud of you.
I have on my merch the Eat Local shirt with Dahmer, right?
Yeah.
Well, someone had posted something about a T-shirt with I think it had Ed Gein and something, and it was in Wisconsin. It said, "In Wisconsin, we eat people."
Yeah, yeah.
You've seen it before, right?
I've seen shit like that. Yeah.
So I'm like, oh, this is perfect. I'll put my link and the picture there. Perfect, right? I put it up, and as soon as I clicked post, ping. Hey, motherfucker, you can't post that. Because, there was what happened? A woman in Green Bay or something, chopped up her boyfriend or something. This was a month ago or something. Because it was
a regular day in Green Bay.
Yeah, right. Football and chopping up people, apparently. Rodgers re-signed and they chop people up. I mean, it's just the way it is. Yeah, I don't know. Some lady chopped her boyfriend up or some shit. So they're real sensitive because I've posted that before and never had an issue.
That's ridiculous, dude.
It is. And I hate Facebook. And it's if you're creative, it's unfortunately it seems like a necessary evil, and I'm not. I want to get away from it, but I'm not savvy enough to actually do it, and I'm kind of lazy because I just don't want to post shit on there anyways. So it's I hate it so much, and I hardly ever use it. And then you know how it is: if you don't use it, no one sees your shit. So it's I hate it anyways. Yeah. So it's it's just this double-edged sword that cuts both my hands.
Yeah. Yeah, it's trippy, especially if you have a business, right? If you have a business or passion project like this, you want to promote it, you want people to click on stuff. So it is now I happen to know that I'm somewhat unsearchable, untaggable, private, status, whatever on Facebook. I know that because I've had people say I can't tag you and stuff. They're trying to post stuff. They can't tag me. And, big things where I can't post it. Like Jonathan Wickman, when I was doing videos with him, he can't post he can't put my name on anything. And it's shit, I'm the one kind of facilitating a lot of this stuff. But, and it is what it is. We're on a lot of platforms now. We're on a lot of alternative platforms, soldout.tv, SOM.TV, and all of them are superior to Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, the big ones, in the sense that they're populated with people, for the most part, who are, they're seeking a platform where free discussion is allowed.
Yeah.
And, that right there sounds, people say, well, that means it's just full of right-winger, white supremacists. Absolutely not. There's plenty of the other side out and about too, because they like to go on those platforms to debate and whatnot too. So, I don't know if anyone will just kind of find their favorite platform. You got to explore. My favorite platform for basic just posting and sharing is Telegram by far. Telegram is the best one because it's so simplified. First of all, it's private. They can't really track much of what you do on there. But it's so easy. You can just, I don't know. It's just really easy. You just have a thread, you post, and there's none of this hoopla. There's no ads and all this nonsense. It's just pure Intel drops and shit that you can share. You can file share, video, whatever. But then the best video platform I'm coming to find is, besides Rumble, which is I think Rumble's going to be the future YouTube. I really do think that it's already on the way to be that. They're being integrated into a lot of different companies and other platforms like Truth Social and others. And they do the job. Rumble's a great platform because they don't have a bunch of limits on what kind of video you can upload and all this stuff. It's very simplified. But this other platform that is really, really making it happen is Rockfin, ROKFIN. Yeah. And I cannot say enough good shit about this platform. We've been on there about 7 weeks, and we got 400 followers. We're about to hit 400 followers. And, it takes years to get to that many followers with some of these other platforms, whether it's because of censorship or whatever reason, it doesn't really matter. But the Rockfin platform seems to be designed by creators, and they have a really cool like cryptocurrency element that's built into it, where you just get a share of the crypto, that's built into the platform, and you can turn it into US dollars as you go. So you actually you're actually financially incentivized to join this platform and post there. And there's other platforms that do that too, but Rockfin's got everything about it is streamlined and smooth, and the engagement on there is huge because they promote your post. So if you post something, SOMTV posts something, boom, people get an email from Rockfin. If they're subscribed, they didn't block Rockfin's email address or whatever. And it says SOMTV just posted this, and it's just everything about that's really cool. They also do this thing where if you're a new creator on there, every couple of weeks or whatever, they come out with an email. It's like, check out these new creators, and boom, boom, boom. It has a list of them. Well, that right there gets people checking you out. And Eddie Bravo, the great Eddie Bravo, who has been on Joe Rogan for years and all this.
Shout out.
Yeah, he just joined Rockfin. He just created a profile. So that's like the big news on there. It's just really cool, man. So like these platforms are there, they're being built out, and there is kind of a mass exodus out of some of the other platforms because people want content, people want free, open discussion, and unfortunately, the big tech platforms, people are starting to understand what that's about. People are starting to understand where these tech platforms come from, and how big data is actually something people should be concerned with. I mean, do you really want everybody collecting every single thing and, creating a social credit profile for you? If you can't see where that trend leads, you got to start waking up. We got to start getting hip to this stuff because they're not collecting all that stuff to sell you trinkets. That's not why they do that. I mean, they're creating basically a digital farm of everybody. They want personality profiles on everyone, and they want to combine that with your medical data. And I'm not trying to take your audience down the rabbit hole. Feel free to visit soldout.tv for all the rabbit holes. But, like when you see these monsters for what they are, and you see how they behave and how they get rid of entire thoughts or entire, ways of thinking or perspectives or conversations, people that are bringing an alternative narrative to the discussion. They just get rid of all of them that say that one thing. Well, what are you doing? You are narrowing down the scope of every other user of that platform to such a strong degree that everybody's just gonna wake up zombified one day and go, I didn't know that the fucking the state of Florida was sinking off into the ocean, or I didn't know that a nuclear bomb went off in China. People are just gonna wake up not knowing anything. They're gonna go, how did we get here? And that's kind of what happened in the last 2 years with all the psychological warfare that people are dealing with. And that's a big discussion for another time, maybe, Johnny, but you smell what I'm stepping in here. It just emboldens me. It just makes me go, well, how do we avoid all that and just go to where we can be free? And I think a lot of people are going that way. They're starting to see that, it's going to be better to get away from these platforms that are shrinking the discussions and narrowing down everything. Everything is garbage on Facebook. Everything is garbage. And then let's instead go to the ones that are flourishing and literally paying creators to join their platform, to grow in the, to add to the discussion and to share fresh, new content, innovative ideas. Where do you think the future really lies? I doubt it lies in this old, evil, big tech, multi-billion-dollar freakish industry where all the emblems and icons are Masonic and occult symbols, and you got to wonder why. So anyway, sorry, man, I ranted there, but that's my life. Welcome to a moment in my mind. Anyway,
that's all right with your,
take me out of here.
I don't know if I should say political commentator. Is that maybe a, I don't know if you describe. I know, but there's some of that, and I don't know how else to describe it because it's not necessarily, where I live,
right.
But yeah, it's interesting how that. You've always. This isn't like something that like you just developed. You know what? I'm going to start my own website, and then this is what I'm going to do. No, this has been you, the whole
Johnny
time. So
you can also attest to the fact that, I've always talked about conspiracies, right? I've always talked about the crazy stuff and have been called crazy and have been to some dark places because of that approach to conversations and whatnot. And you've seen that. You were there for some of the worst moments for me, but, and thank you for being there. But the fact is, I actually didn't want to take it to this degree. I never wanted to, but then the COVID thing came in once. And it's funny, right? So November of 2019 is when that's when we started the podcast. You were in December 2019.
Yep.
Flash forward literally a month later, right?
Yeah.
COVID. So boom, all of a sudden I just start this fresh podcast and we're talking about music. We're talking about life. We're making fun of everything. We're just having a good time. I like to talk a little bit about like mentality and philosophy. I wasn't getting super political at all. And then, maybe a little bit here and there, but then all of a sudden this coronavirus stuff happened. And because I had, and I'm not the only one, there are thousands, if not millions of people that were like this, but because I had done upwards of 2 decades of research into the powers that were, if you will, into the global order, the global power structures and all the conspiracies of the world. Well, I fucking wasn't going to go along with any of that stuff. It was so obvious to me, and people get mad when I say it because it sounds cocky, but it's just the facts. Is, all you had to do was Google Bill Gates, Google Fauci, Google these people, and you could empower yourself through knowledge, and it wouldn't take very long to see what was going on. So I could not get behind any of the fear porn. I could not get behind any of the hype. I was worried, but not because I was scared of any virus. I was worried about the reactions of governments and the reactions of people, because it was typical problem reaction solution, just like 9/11, just like all the mass shootings, just like this, that, and the other thing. So I'm not trying to get Johnny's channel in trouble, but at the end of the day, that changed the podcast tone. Right? My podcast tone changed when that all came in. And, I got some hate, and a lot of hate, but I also got a lot of love, got a lot of love from people. And it just so happened, most of the people I had on, most people I was talking to, without me trying to talk to them in advance or anything, like they basically agreed with the same thing. A lot of it was hyped up, a lot of it was BS. Hey, what's going on with our freedom? A lot of people were concerned with the same stuff. And, that just kind of empowered me more and go, well, yeah, now I'm going to be a voice, right? Now I'm going to try to be a voice for rational thinking and common sense. And hey, let's go back to the Constitution. You can't just walk all over the Constitution. That was my main thing, Right. But at the end of the day, I couldn't get behind any of that craze because I knew what these folks were doing. I knew not exactly, but I knew where it was meant to go. And here we are. And this just layer upon layer of psychological warfare against the freedom loving patriots in America. And everybody knows it now. It's not like this is woo woo anymore. It's not like you have to fact check this. Everybody feels it. Everybody knows what's going on. It takes a minute to look at, to follow the money, to look at the history, to do the research into the geopolitical maneuvers we've seen in the last 2 years. And not everybody wants to do that. Not everybody has the time to do that. Not everybody cares about that. Some people just want to just live their life and be left alone. Well, I tend to say that's good to a certain point, but then you might fall into some of these traps because they're banking on you not caring. These people that you might write them off, you might think, oh, it's not a big deal. I don't have to concern myself. Well, the fact is they're concerned with you. They have a plan for you. And they are they're waging full war upon you. They're kicking you in the face. And if you roll over and you say, I can't do much about it, I'm just going to, just live my life until I die. Well, then, have fun with that. But understand that there's an actual majority of American people that do not want that. And we're not going to go with, right? We're not going to go with that program. And there's a grassroots movement to, stand up and change things from the bottom up, from the townships up, from the school boards up. And that's a huge component of the podcast. It's a huge component of what we're doing now. It totally morphed into more of an activism type of thing. Freedom advocacy, activism advocacy. Never something I intended to do or wanted to do. But dude, the psyops of the last 2 years were just too embarrassing for me to tolerate. I was embarrassed by my fellow countrymen and how just the way everybody kind of went into that fear mode. And fear can either paralyze you or it can empower you. And it can actually make you stand up and get pissed and take your power back. And we saw too much of the former, and I wanted to be an agent of change in that regard. And that's hence Wickman, hence my relationship with Jonathan Wickman, who's going to be Wisconsin's next lieutenant governor, period. And, many other people that I've come across and talked to, David Whitehead from Truth Warrior, from the Unslaved podcast, Michael Tessarian. I'm going right to the biggest minds I can, the ones that'll tolerate my platform and tolerate me. And getting that and trying to feature these people that have been so vocal and going way back, exposing all this stuff way back. And that's what it's about for me is bringing people into that space of empowerment, into that space of personal, autonomy over your own research and your own thinking. Don't let anyone tell you what to think or make you think a certain way. They will tell you what to think. They are banking on you thinking specifically a certain way. Instead, trust no one. Trust absolutely no one, not even me, not even Joe Rogan, not even anyone. Instead, do your own homework and try to find out what's the truest for you, what resonates the most with you. Use your spider senses, use what God tells you, and live your life the way you want to live. Don't swallow whole all the garbage that these elitists have tried to spoon feed you, man. Just don't go there. It leads to fear, anxiety, depression, and death. And they profit every step of the way and brag about it and laugh in your face and laugh at you. And then, they're taking off their masks when they're not on camera, but then in front of the camera, they put the mask on. The whole theater is all designed to break you, to demoralize you, to make you feel like you can't do anything, and to make you feel like you need Big Daddy, you need Daddy Fauci, you need Daddy Gates to tell you what to do. And that's what it's designed to be like. But, thankfully, the majority of people are snapping out of this. They're snapping out of this, especially because we have kind of a clown show going on in Washington, D.C. every day. That helps. That it's such a clown show over there and people can laugh, And I'm sorry, Johnny, I you know me, man, I go on a rant. I'm very rarely a guest on someone's show. So you're just getting me spewing it.
This is no. And I was thinking when you're talking here is this, I am happy as a friend that you find things that you're this passionate about, that that inspires you to make change however you see fit, or however you feel you can, or whatever. It's neat to watch.
Thanks.
And you were talking about Rockfin earlier, and I think I mentioned that to you like 2 years ago.
Really? Oh, my bad, dude.
No, it's fine, because I looked into it and it was, I don't know what it is now, and it's not like it's a different, place, but like I looked into it, but like someone like me, it really wasn't, not that it wasn't a spot for me, but it wasn't necessary for me, if that makes any sense.
Yeah. Well, it's mostly alternative narratives. It's mostly alternative discussion on like world things, and then martial arts. That's mostly what that channel is. It has no musical creators on there. Yeah. Except my channel. My channel is the only one that has like musical content, as far as I've found so far. Yeah. But there's a lot of good shit though.
That was then too. I was looking at, I was like, I don't see really anything else like what I was doing. And I'm small potatoes anyways, but there was a lot of wrestling stuff, like Ben Askren is on there. Yeah. And he's been on there since, I don't know, he might own it. I don't know. But yeah, there's different platforms, and just trying to like figure out how they work is like, I don't know if it's something I want to do. I'm just like,
it's not very fun. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like, I've looked at some of the other ones, and like, I don't, this one with the, me posting the t-shirt, this has kind of been like the first, time I've ran into anything where they like tried to chop me off at all. I hardly post on it anyways. The only thing I post lately is like, I like to say today is good, or something along that line. Everybody's got bullshit in their life all the time. Mm-hmm. This is a wacky game show, so even if there's just that little bit of something that, you can put out, and maybe someone will be like, what, fuck it, today is good, or whatever, just try, I'm not trying to change anybody's life. I'm just trying to like,
No, actually, the world needs a lot more of that. It needs a lot more of the positive, the uplifting. And, sometimes when I get like uppity and like ranty about a lot of this political stuff or whatever, that's passion that I have for my fellow man, woman, and child. And, as a dad, Lincoln is 7 years old now. That's the number one motivational thing, right? The fact that I don't want someone to dictate things he has to do. I want to be I'm the parent, so I will decide what we do for him, not the state. Yeah. And the state is just smashing those boundaries every step of the way. They're trying to. They're not going to win, but they're trying to. So like that right there was a huge motivational thing. But I do wrap every episode of the podcast, I wrap it up at the end with the solutions talk, with the idea, kind of the final thoughts, the solutions. And it's all about empowering people through knowledge. The dark side of the problem is that when you shine your light brighter, you illuminate more of the darkness. So you do see, and light is a metaphor for knowledge. Whenever people talk about dark versus light, it's wisdom, knowledge versus lack of wisdom, ignorance, being in the dark, right? He's a bright mind. Those metaphors all come from ignorance versus knowledge. Right. And the idea of today, what I call the Great Awakening, is that knowledge is now at your fingertips, and more people are realizing that they have this access. They had it the whole time. They just didn't know because they were too immersed in specific talks, specific topics, specific culturally sanctioned mores and mores and things like that caused them to totally disregard their own power. And now, they're stepping into a place where they're becoming more awake and aware. But what does that lead to? That leads to you kind of realizing that, there's this cultural scam going on. There's a lot of stuff out there that we're taught as youngins that really don't help. Like, you're not taught how to balance a checkbook, but you're taught how to, do this kind of job or go to college. You're not taught about how to build true wealth and how to keep your credit score high. but you are taught about how to be a wage slave, or you are groomed and indoctrinated to become a cog in the machine. And, every step of the way, culture has these little things, these little traps for us to fall in, because they're banking on you not empowering yourself through knowledge. So as you learn more about like the truths behind, the behind the illusion, behind the cultural illusion that we live in, it's upsetting. It's not good to learn about these people, the spell that has been cast over humanity's eyes across thousands of years. Literally is what that is. And you break free from that spell and you never go back there. You never go back into the spell. And when you're on the outside and everybody else is on the inside, it's a horribly isolating feeling. But that itself leads to self-empowerment. That itself then leads you to a space of, well, if that's the paradigm, if that's the situation, what can I do about it? One, and how do I make the most out of it? Life is what you make of it. So life gives you lemons, you make lemonade. If whatever challenge comes your way, you have to find that silver lining and you have to view it as an opportunity. David Whitehead, DW Truth Warrior, who I had on recently, one of the biggest names out there in the alternative truth movement, and an awesome creator. He is a big martial artist, and of course, being in Krav the last 8 months or whatever it's been, like I've really taken more to the martial arts philosophies. And, basically it comes down to this idea of no matter what happens, whether it's good or bad, like if it's a good thing, we're like, yeah, that was a good thing that happened today. And we get excited, we celebrate it. If it's a bad thing, we go, oh, it sucks, poor me. But no matter what, kind of the martial arts approach is that there's an opportunity in each one. So if you have like a really good thing that happens to you, that might grant you an explosive opportunity. You might be able to take that to the max. You might be able to take that to the next level. If something really bad happens to you, you can kind of dwell in the shittiness and it feels like you're in a pit. How do I get out? What's really glaring at you every step of the way there is that there's some kind of opportunity. Just as shitty as that thing is that happened to you, the opportunity that lays dormant within that shitty thing is equally as big, as awesome, as helpful. And it's just there. You have to find it. So I looked at all this stuff, all this drama, all the crazy stuff in the world going on. People say, oh, Ukraine, Russia, World War III, nuclear bomb. Everybody's living in fear. All of it is an opportunity to affect serious change for the better. That's always the message. That's always the message. It's never not been the message. And that starts with people just standing up saying, look, I'm going to do my own homework. I'm going to empower myself because I don't want to be told how to live. I don't want to be told when I can go here and go there, or what I have to put on me or in me. This is not we were never designed to live that way. Not according to God, not according to the U.S. Constitution, et cetera, et cetera. We were never designed to live like that. So, yeah. I just want people to step into the space and be like, I'm taking control of my shit, and no one's telling me what to do. And that's how America started. Flashback. America was created by dangerous men who said, fuck you to King George and said, we're not doing it. We're leaving. We're going to a different continent. We're going to start a freedom-based country, basically, right? And they flipped the bird. Of course, we got basically infiltrated all throughout time and things got fucked up. But, that's how the country started. So, and now our men, we have no dangerous men. We have men who think mayo is spicy. We have men who don't know what gender they are. They want, I'm not going to go down that thing, but, we have serious devolution that has taken place. Devolution. And that is not natural. That is not natural. That was designed by bad guys who took control of our minds through time. That's all it is. Get your mind back. And then you can begin. that forward momentum into a better space where you are empowered. God, I believe, wants it that way. He wants us to say, hey, don't let these bad guys tell you how to live. I really do feel that.
Well, when things get easy, you have a tendency to try to create problems because they make things interesting, So
yeah.
When things are, when things are easy, people get pissed off about small things. So It's kind
hard times
there it is.
make strong men. Strong men create easy times. Easy times create weak men, and weak men create hard times.
Yep.
And the cycle continues.
Yeah.
And that's why we're at the fourth turning in America.
I was going to mention that, but you beat me to it, and that's all right.
My bad, dude.
That's
my
right.
bad. Johnny said that. That's directly a Johnny Ruckus quote.
That is not. I stole that from Rogan, and I'm sure he stole it from somebody else. So
I don't even know. Yeah, right.
I wanted to double back a bit. We're gonna jam the gear shift back in.
Sure.
You're talking about your interface
Give it to
problems.
me straight.
Your interface problems, and everybody talks shit about Behringer. You should look into getting a Behringer one. I've had this Behringer 1820. It's an 8-channel. I've had it.
Oh yeah.
I've had it for 4 years, 5 years. No, I don't know. 4 years at least. And then I added the 8-channel. It's an expansion, so I can record 16 channels at once. And I think the Behringer is like $299. I believe.
Tight.
Yeah.
Tight. I got to figure something out. Yeah. I mean that's where I'm at, dude. Add it to the fucking list. But yeah.
Well, you've expanded your stuff over, like I see you got the SM7 B there.
Three of these.
Ooh, look at that. See, I was like, should I buy one? And then I'm like, I don't know if it'll give me enough of a difference from what I'm using now. I mean, I just have mine's a dynamic, it's a Sennheiser, it's a 935 or something like that. So it's a really good mic regardless, but like, I don't really think it's going to give me a whole lot of difference.
Yeah. So, don't do what I did. Do not do what I did, which is put a little much into this. You know what I mean? You have to be careful when it comes to your passion projects, especially if you want to treat it like a business, as in you want to put in that much time, you want to put in that much effort and treat it like a business and grow it. Do not go ham. Do not dig yourself a hole that is hard to get out of.
Yeah.
Really. I mean, that us being gear guys, like, you should spend that money on groceries, but you bought a fucking guitar instead. What the hell's wrong with you? We've been dealing with that our entire life. So,
we poor most of our lives. So
that's why musicians are broke. That's why musicians are generally broke ass people, because they're just obsessed with the wrong things and they put their money in the wrong places.
Yeah, like I've been really looking into like, should I upgrade my camera? And I'm like, and I try to look at like different, look them up on the internets, and like, I can't find like, okay, if this is what you do, this is what you should get. There's this, this is for the beginner. And like, it's still a $900 camera. And it's like, right. What the fuck kind of beginning are you at? 'Cause that's not where I'm at. So I just got a couple webcams, and my angles are, what I do, they're just fine. And
you're good, man. You're good. Less is more sometimes. You don't need all that shit.
No,
because
really
you know what? Because you know what? The people that like your content like your content. The folks that are tuned in for you. They're tuned in for, whatever it is you bring uniquely to the table. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They're not going to tune in and be like, oh, his camera is bad, I'm not going to watch. Like, if they are that way, then the fuck off my channel.
I would say that probably if your audio is bad, that's more of a turn off.
Let's be real. That is important. I've had people talk some shit about audio, like, I'll put out like, there's certain like old videos that I mirror sometimes, and people say, "Oh, the audio is bad." Well, that's the audio that the video was originally, or whatever the case is. You can turn people off with bad audio. That's true. Absolutely.
If it's continuous, it's like they're just gonna be like, eh. But like, I think the audio part, on my stuff is fine. Like right now, my camera looks fine. This is typically what I'll use. Let me flip back here. I got this. And then like, I have a different angle that I don't have set up on this, scene collection or whatever. But like, that looks fine for my my Twitch videos that I do on Sundays, or if I do a gear review, I got kind of a, I can use my cell phone too, and that's all fine. I mean, you got a fucking million megapixel camera in your pocket. I think it's going to be okay,
Oh yeah. Yeah.
But I wanted to I made a video about this like a few months back cuz I got one, but I was just like everybody else who shits on the Metal Zone. And I didn't know what I was talking about, but you, sir, have been a Metal Zone torch bearer, if you will, for many years. How did that come about? I'm
sponsored by Boss.
I'm sponsored by the MT2.
Don't make fun of my ignorance when it comes to pedals.
I am not. No, I am not at all.
No, I
am apologizing.
I've had the Metal Zone forever. Yeah, oh yeah, and it's terrible. It's terrible. It's a horrible pedal. But that's what I had for a long time. And flash back to those rock and roll days, right? What was I there for, man? I was there for not so much the gear, right? My gear was always shit. Johnny, you can attest. I had the shittiest gear all the time. Dude.
You did have the most horrible gear.
Remember my half stack that was split in half? Do you remember that?
Yes.
I had a fucking 4x12 slant cabinet, but it was split down the middle. It was two cabinets that was 1/1. And it was, you had to put them together, put your amp head on top, that PV Valve King, which was garbage. It wasn't even a Valve King. It was like the way older model. Yeah, it was a way older PV. I can't remember exactly what it was.
And there's nothing wrong with solid state, but yeah.
Mine, there was something wrong. There's something wrong with mine, dude.
You had like well, again, we're poor, but like
I stole it. Yeah, I don't
know. you had like, you almost had a pride in having like the shittiest stuff. Like,
I had duct tape all over everything.
Yeah, like you didn't have you didn't just go buy $15 strap lock. So you're just like, oh fuck it, I'll just duct tape the absolute fuck out of it.
Strap locks are for fucking losers,
right?
Dude.
Strap locks with your asshole. Fuck
That's punk, right? That's because I was hardcore.
Yeah.
Let it fall off. Don't even tune the guitar.
No, you didn't have a tuner. You didn't have a tuner. God,
Johnny, tune it.
Oh, we're sitting there going, here, we're going to play the world famous tuning song, which most people have a pedal that so everybody else doesn't have to hear it. But here's Jordan, bang, bang, ping, ping, bang.
It's totally not in tune, and I'm like, all right, let's hit that next song.
Let's go anyways. I don't care.
Oh God, I hate tuning. Remember that? Oh man.
Oh, you hated changing strings, like you would.
You fucking hated strings.
It would take you like a week to change strings. Be like, where's Jordan? Oh, he's changing his strings. Yeah, that was last Wednesday. Yeah, he's still doing it.
So the problem, Johnny, was that you know how much I sweated. I sweat. So I would put fresh strings on for the gig, and I would go play the gig, sweat so much all over it. It would be rusted 2 days later.
Yeah, you had really acidic sweat. Horribly acidic sweat.
It was all beer. My sweat was basically just whiskey and nicotine, and God knows whatever else. So
THC,
that's very corrosive on your guitar hardware.
Yeah, it's funny because I've been fat my entire life and I sweat peeling an orange, but my sweat isn't like that. Like my sweat's just like.
Your sweat was fine.
Yeah, I had normal I had beautiful sweat. You had this acidic like fallout sweat.
Oh man, it was bad. It still can be like, I still am like that. I mean, I'm a way healthier body than I was back then.
Yeah.
And I still sweat profusely.
Just had the acid sweats. I wonder, is it still acid sweats? Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know what it is too. I mean, it's just straight up like, dude, Sunday morning, man. Sunday morning, getting ready. I'm dialing myself up for church, dude. And I'm halfway through the church service. I put my arm up over my family. I'm fucking just dripping. I'm just pitting. Yeah. I'm like, what's wrong with me, dude? I'm in God's house right now, sweating.
Just sweating.
I don't even know. Maybe I was just nervous in front of Jesus. I don't know.
I don't know. Well, I mean, my room here is like the hottest thing on earth.
Oh, I'm jealous. I'm in the basement. It's cold.
I'm working on my basement. I want to make a studio in my basement because where I'm at right now, it's my Funko collection. If I could show you if I had my other camera.
I've seen some shots of that.
Dude, it's fucking ridiculous. Okay, I got my Funko. It's my studio. Kelly tries to run her business out of here too, and it's like a 10 by 12 room. So it's 83 degrees in here right now.
Sure. Yeah.
I have sweatpants on rolled up to my knees. And if I didn't have a black shirt, I would have sweat all the way down my back or down my sides. It's 83. Literally.
Jesus, dude. That's fucking hot. What the fuck? Are you serious?
Yeah.
That's really hot, John.
Dude.
It's insanely warm. Yeah. I thought you were fucking exaggerating.
No, I have a fan on me, full blast. I can't turn my ceiling fan on because
right now.
Otherwise I get, you get the it'll whir and you make noise, so I have to turn the fucking thing off. Dude, every Sunday morning when I'm in here doing my acoustic or whatever the fuck for Johnny's Sunday Songs live on twitch.tv/thejohnnyruckus. Go there. Cheap plug, bitch. I am pouring, but because of just how the light hits me, like I got a little bit. I'm not actually that bad, but I'm fucking pouring, and luckily you can't tell, but it's ridiculous in here, and I can't have the door open because then I'm gonna have the cats fucking in here knocking shit over and being dickheads.
Oh, sure.
So it's like I can't. Well, I suppose I could be that guy and open the window, but I got my heat on. I'm not paying to heat the outside. We
should say too, as a timestamp. I don't know what it's like by you, but it's been nothing but cold, gross rain, and we're what, April 8th, 9th, whatever it is today. It is fucking gross outside the whole last 2 weeks, dude. Maybe even longer.
It's depressing as shit.
Super depressing.
Like I stopped wearing a jacket just because I'm like, maybe this will cheer me up. No.
Try to trick the weather.
Yeah, it was snowing, like spitting and shit today. I was just like,
can winter be over?
Dude, stupid. I hope. Okay, I turn 40 in a fucking week, right? From today, 40.
Oh man.
So yeah, I know. I'm so fucking washed. I am so old and so washed. But I hope there's at least like sun, or
I know, on your birthday.
Maybe a little, like maybe only like 10 clouds rather than 4 million. That would be super dope if I could just.
It'd be nice, yeah. Give me a little sunlight.
Right, at least like give me a little glimmer of fucking hope here. But yeah, it's goddamn ridiculous. What? Okay, so you've been playing acoustic more. Do you still like? Do you grab the electric any? Like, or you just kind of like it's too loud, or let me go to this real quick and then we'll double back to that. Yeah. I know when I came down to do your podcast, you had the Axe effects, and you were still like trying to iron out the bugs out of that. And I told you about IRs, and I know I made you a video that you probably didn't watch, and that's fine. But did you get the IRs thing figured out first of all?
So when you say IRs, impulse responses,
yes.
So I just want to make sure I have the definition of that right. Because I believe the answer is yes. Essentially, and I have that right in front of me. I have the Wonderfx Ultra, which is the model. This is like the bastard model no one liked. Well, I got that one, and I got it used. So like everything was overwritten on it. So I had to, on a lot of the patches, so I was making my own. And it is kind of a pain in the ass because if you make a patch and it sounds good in your DAW, that will not sound good anywhere else. So, the idea of making patches that sound good in the DAW and then patches that sound good through your amp and then patches that might work like plugged into a PA straight, it became a very daunting thing. And then, it sounds good on that guitar, but not that guitar. So like, I then what I did, man? I got into DSP. Is that the name of it? Yeah,
neural
DSP. Yeah, neural DSP.
Yep.
That has been my baby for quite some time now, and I have Nolly Get Good. I have the Pliny. I have what's the other guy from Tosin Abasi from Animals as Leaders. I have a couple of different artist setups on there, and then of course you can tweak it, make whatever you want. Yeah. And I have another one too. I have a Misha Mansour came out from Periphery, came out with something a couple years ago. I forget the name of it. It's just on my tongue right now. But he has a program that you could do like that. So that I have as my guitar emulator or amp emulator. So is that impulse response? Is that what that is?
No, that's an amp sim, but what an impulse response is the cabinet.
Well, in there's cabinet features for all those.
Yeah. So, an impulse response is basically like a digital snapshot of a speaker, a cabinet, and a microphone.
Yeah. Okay. Sure.
Okay. So if you took something like that and put it into your Axe Effects, you'd have to like put it at the end of the chain. Yeah. You could then run that out into a PA, or something like that. So that's because you get real fizzy, right? Is it real fizzy?
It's there. Yeah. Like if I remember right, because to be honest, I haven't used my Axe Effects Ultra in some time.
Yeah.
But yeah, I remember being annoyed by a frequency. Yeah. Quite a bit.
That's exactly what it is, because I had that problem. I got that.
Sounds fake.
Yeah. I got my rack mount 2-man plus. And if I just run that in, it's fizzier and fuck, but it's because it needs a cabinet. So what I'll do is, if I'm running that, I wish I could take the camera and show you my fucking tone rack here, because it's gotten ridiculous in the last year, and I'm completely happy about that. Finally. But I put the 2-man and then I run into impulse response, and then it's like, oh, that's what I've been missing.
Sounds good.
Yeah. And it sounds like a fucking amp again. Like, so yeah, this technology is just fucking beautiful. I have,
you just have to come down here and hang out with me and set me up one day, because I know what I know, and I know how much I don't know. So that's the thing, is like, I plug it in and I go, well, let's try this thing. And then hopefully I get a tone that works. And then I also hope that once I'm done tracking something, I send it off to my guy, Danny Schmitz, at Danny Schmitz Music, and he'll know what to do with it. He'll take that shit, turn it in. He'll tweak it even further.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I the guitar player that was in 215 before Josh passed, he came up a few months ago because he got a Kemper, and he had a EVH 5153 that he wanted to capture on there. And then I actually ended up buying it from him. It's sitting right next to me. I helped him capture it, but we ran into I have an IR load box. It's a 2 notes Torpedo Captor X, it's called. So what I can do is I can take my tube amp. I know, right? Big name. I can take my tube amp, run it into there, and then that's an IR loader. So then I can run a tube amp full blast however I want it. You get that's tube saturation, but I can run it straight into my computer, and it doesn't hurt my tube amp, because when you plug in a tube amp, it needs to have a speaker load on it. Otherwise you'll fuck it up. Right. It puts the speaker load on there, and then I can run it full blast into my DAW, and then I can make whatever cabinet I want. So like I have a cabinet with greenbacks. I have a cabinet with vintage 30s. I have a whole bunch of them, right? So I can run all my tube amps right into that, and super dope. So anyways, long story short, I use that to do the modeling on the Kemper, and then now he sold me his amp, and then he uses his Kemper and his guitar.
So what you're saying is, I'm going to start tracking guitars at your place from now on. What you're saying.
Dude, I have fucking fun here now, but
but it's too hot. That's why.
My God, dude, we will sweat together. I don't know how. We'll just melt
ruin
together.
Your gear.
You play your own fucking guitar, though. I'll tell you that right now. No, it's just fucking ridiculous. Like the last year or two, I've been able to finally start not playing $100 guitars. I'm not going fucking crazy, but like I have a couple PRSs over here, and that's been like a fucking dream.
Nice.
You know?
PRS is awesome.
You know, and then I got you mentioned Misha Mansour. I'm not a Periphery fan. Like, I'm sure I would like them, but it's not something I listen to. I have his PV amp here, and then I have his overdrive pedal on my board.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
The Horizon Drive is fucking awesome.
Yeah.
So
that's he's got like, you know, the digital replica of that in that program.
Yeah.
I can't think of the fucking name of it, but
yeah,
you know,
it's his DS. Yeah, the Neural one. Yeah. It's fucking sick. So maybe I should actually probably start listening to him, or at least give him a shot.
Well, the thing about him is that he's like he's at the forefront of that gent tone, a very specific scoop mid tone that is so popular now. He's one of those first people to really take that to so many different levels. Him and a few other guys, I'd say. And so therefore they've kind of, I won't say they patented that sound, but they popularized a lot of that very specific gent tone, which is hard to mimic in a lot of different setups. And I find it very difficult at times to make that sound the way I want, but I love it. That is the sexiest kind of guitar tone out there. You know, and you know, being in a band with Ian, right? Ian Arthur, he's huge into that sphere. Like he's huge into that gear. He knows way more about guitar tone than I do, and he's a drummer. So like, and he plays guitar too. He's really good at guitar too.
Oh, he's a far better guitar player than I am. That's for damn sure.
He's really good. Yeah. And you know, he knows way more about that. And, you know, he also has a hearing issue, which is kind of interesting. He's got like a tinnitus, you know, but you know, nonetheless, he can educate me on all that stuff. You know, it's just wild. And I'm like, just turn it up. You know, just turn it on. Let's go. But if you can get the tone just right, you know, that matters. You know, I used to drive myself crazy trying to make a tone, to make a tone and save it and get it sounding good. And then you come back to it later and you're like, why did I make this? And I did this for way too long. Way too long. My wife was like, what the fuck are you doing? You know, just hours on end trying to form tones. And then I found Neural DSP. To be honest, not to like be a super like pluggy guy, but Neural DSP just like provided enough to start with that I could just kind of tweak some of those patches a certain way, and boom, I was happy.
Yeah, they did the heavy lifting.
Because I'm not so much of like a gear tone nerd. I am, but I'm not like to the degree where I can really afford to spend so much time analyzing and whatnot. I just, you know, I don't know. I have kind of a fine line that I stay behind. But that's just because I'm busy. I think it's just because my brain doesn't want to go there, you know, too often. Yeah,
you know, you can go down it, dude. I got amps sitting here. I started buying distortion pedals because I'm a fucking idiot. So like,
I like your pedal reviews, dude. I like your little tester videos. Those are cool, man.
I really like doing them. The thing is I got to buy everything.
You got to buy the pedal. It's an expensive hobby.
So I'm like, shit. But like I recently started getting into fuzz. I hated fuzz like 20 years ago. Oh, that sounds like shit. Dude, I fucking love that shit now.
Do you play bass or any of them?
You can.
That's fun shit.
Oh yeah, I have it's on my other board. I have two boards. I have a board that's low gain. I have a combo amp, and then I have all my high gain shit. So yeah, I am like, if I want to go play like country or like classic rock stuff, I go to my other thing and it sounds fucking awesome. I want to play metal, I'm on Tonehenge, whatever, you know. So no, I have a distortion pedal. It's called the Red Rider Distortion by Wonderfx. Shout out.
I seen that video. That one.
It has a blend control and it works really well for bass. So you can blend in the dry signal.
Yep.
Dude, it sounds fucking phenomenal. And then like, any fuzz, you know, it's just, it sounds super dope. And then what I've also found for bass running through my Tube Man, and then I put it on like the crunch channel on my Tube Man, and then I run it into a guitar cab, like a IR, you know, a guitar cab. Dude, It's
Sounds
just
good.
snarly as shit, you know, and like I'm a fan of like see we're separated by a few years, but we have like more separation in our music. So I'm trying to think
Oh,
like
sure.
what is like that? I don't know. Are you familiar with Snapcase? You know who
No,
Snapcase is? Okay.
I've heard of the name. I
Or
can't think of the music.
how about Thursday?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I
Okay, you know
this.
that bass tone, that just snarly like P
I
bass
fucking love
bass
that.
tone. Yeah, I'm complete like that. Mid to late, early 2000s hardcore bass tone. Oh,
Yeah.
oh,
Yeah.
I love that shit. So like, it will get that, you know, and then you can make it more filthy if you want to. But yeah, it's super fun to dial in cool, you know, bass shit like that. But
When you record bass in your DAW, do you do the trick where like, you know, get your perfect take or 2 takes or get your tracking down, and then do you take that and copy and double that track, and then take one of them and isolate the highs and the other one isolate the lows, and then fucking crispy up and fuzz up the high track, and then, you know, compress and limit that low? Like, do you do it that way, or do you do all one track?
I have. It depends, kind of. It
'Cause
depends
I love
what.
that style.
It depends what I'm looking for. But typically, I'm looking more for like a like I use a jazz bass, so like it has like a real kind of round sound to it, and then if you pick, it gets more aggressive. And I finger style a bass. It's not a good idea for me. It just I don't have the control, so just
Same
I get
here.
that pick attack. So I typically have like a lower rumble. I don't have a whole lot of highs in it, which then, you know, kind of takes away a little bit of the definition, but that's how I play bass. So like if I have my bass player come in and like redo the bass on my demos, it's obviously going to be a different tone, but like, no, I keep it real basic. I have like a tune track, couple of bass things that I load up. I compress the absolute fuck out of it. And then like, I'll do a low cut, you know, so you don't get the super rumbly shit. You know, I'll cut maybe about 50 or 60K, and then I'll cut the highs and, you know, depend, you know, that's kind of the basic part of it. And then if I need more, I carve out more or whatever. But I don't always get that snarly tone, but when I get that, when I want that, if the song calls for it, I'll run it through that tube, man. That'll be, but now I got more pedals and shit. I'll have to just, you know, play with it, 'cause it's fun. But that's
It's a fun, addicting hobby.
Oh yeah, for sure. You know, and then, trying to go through all the IRs and stuff for my cabinets. 'Cause like, you know, the hard rock metal tone, it's not so much with the gent tone maybe, but the hard rock metal tone is like a 5150 into a vintage 30 with the SM7. Like that's the classic, but then it sounds like everybody else too. So it's hard. Like I really like, I really like a greenback. That's I like a greenback more than a vintage 30, but the vintage 30 also has something, but then I like to fuck with different, microphones and stuff then too. Like I'll use like the SM7, or, you know, like a ribbon mic would be like a 121 or something like that. And a 121 is a super dark microphone. And then when I play everything's dark anyways. Like nothing is happy when I play. Like it just doesn't work that way. Oh, you're fucking vaping, huh? Nice.
It's the American way.
Hey, you're not smoking cigarettes anymore, right? And just vaping.
No, I vape. It's only ever late at night kind of thing. You know what I mean? I never would do it during the day.
Sure.
Unless I had nothing to do, but I don't have days like that.
Yeah, right.
You know,
no days off.
It's CBD, dude. It's nothing, you know.
No,
like
I'm just giving
wild.
you shit. I'm just giving you shit. Yeah, at least you're not.
It's got some
blowing
Hunter
balls.
Biden in it, though. It's got some Hunter Biden coke in.
All right. Well, you know, you got to get mellow and hardcore at the same time. You know, just like this mad trip out. You know, it's like doing. I'll shut up. I don't know what I'm talking about.
That's normally how it goes.
All right. Well, we're
No, it's all good, man. We gotta just keep doing this stuff. We have to get back into it. You were the first guest or the second guest, but did the finale. We had the longest episode together. So much we could talk about.
Yeah.
And yeah, we gotta like jam. We gotta do stuff. We gotta get back into it, Johnny. But you live way too fucking far from
I know.
You need to move further south.
Dude, never gonna happen.
I sell houses now, Johnny.
Yeah. Oh, we didn't purchase it yet, but we're almost purchasing this house. So,
let me facilitate that transaction. I'll take care of you, dude.
It's a land contract, bro. I'm making out.
Oh, you got it.
I'm making out like a fucking bandit.
No, you are. That's actually super smart.
Yeah, I'm making out like a bandit.
It's great. Congrats. I hope you do.
Yeah. Well, it'll be. It's one of those things like, oh, we're waiting on you. Oh, we're waiting on you. It's just a little cross up on things, so it's fine. But I started working on something too a few months back, or no, this is a long time ago now, but I never mentioned it to you. I know, like, your genesis, I guess, on like guitar playing is also Nirvana, right?
Oh, sure.
Right. You know, we should cover something. We should cover a Nirvana song.
Dude, that's a great idea.
We should put the whole bitch together. I don't know if you can get Ian to play drums on it or whatever, or if I just
he would do it.
Or if I just program them, whatever, it doesn't matter to me. But we should do something. I ain't singing, you're singing it. But like
I would get Sean Danielson to sing it from Smile J Soul.
Fuck.
You know, his voice is very much like Kurt Cobain, which is funny.
Yeah, there's elements in there for sure. Yeah, that'd be dope.
Oh yeah.
Dope.
Maybe.
I actually started working like I started working on Lithium like a long time ago, and then I just left it alone, you know. But I was gonna be like, hey Jordan, I got this. You want to do something with it? Like just have it. But I never did it, so I'm just spilling the beans now. But maybe I'm putting it out. I'm putting it out in the ether now. So like, you know, we can do it now. But like even if let's say I recorded it a year ago, like my tones have gotten so much better even from a year ago. So you
have to redo it.
Oh, for sure. For sure. So yeah, we'll talk more. We'll figure that out. But as we wind down here, I'll get another question or two and then I'll let you go.
You know what I need? You know what I need, Johnny?
What do you need, buddy?
I need some on an acoustic track, some lead. You know what I mean?
Oh.
And you could do it with electric, you could do it with an acoustic, but yeah, man, I might hit you up for some lead or like secondary guitar part on a track.
Well, lead will be super pentatonic, so if that'll work, then
you have a very unique way you write leads, dude. I've always liked your leads, man. So you know, I would have faith in whatever you do, and you'd hear the voice with it, so you'd have an idea of the melody.
Sure, and I, for a long time, I got hooked. I got stuck in the how do I get faster? How do I get faster? How do I get faster? I can't play like that. Fuck. Now I'm just like, look, I'm gonna stay in rhythm. I'm going to stay in rhythm, and when I do a lead, it's going to be like slow handy with little, real tiny flurries. That's just going to have to be where I live, you know. And
I want to tell the world right now, you do not have to play guitar fast to make the best guitar solos. Some of my favorite guitar solos of all time are totally not a talented like shred master solo.
Yep.
They're soulful, they're bluesy, and they tell a story. The Alice in Chains, Man in the Box, that solo, like that's one of the solos that just every time I hear it, I don't know, I go, where did that come from? I'm blown away by it every time I hear it, and it's a 30-year-old song.
Yep.
So like, you know, that's very true. No, you don't have to be super fast, lightning quick to make a badass guitar solo or secondary guitar part or just a riff or a song.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. And like I said, I got in that mindset for a little while, and I was like, my hands just don't do that, and they just don't. Yeah. My hands just don't fucking do that. But when I sent a demo over to my guy a couple weeks ago, and I put a solo in it. I was like, it needs a solo. Just one of those, you know? And we were recording some vocals the other week, and he comes over and he's like, I'll play that one song. And we play it. And he's like, man, that fucking solo is awesome. And I'm like, oh, somebody likes it, you know?
See, exactly, man.
Yeah,
Doesn't have to be fast.
No, you just gotta, your phrasing and tell a story. Yeah, tell a story. That's, even if you only have like 4 bars, you can tell a story in those 4 bars or whatever. You know?
It has to have a good guitar solo. It tells a story. It's got the soul, but it's got the part that makes your hair stand up. There's a part of the solo where it comes along and everything just flows into specific. It makes your hair stand up, and you get that fucking feel good vibe where it's like, ooh, I like the way that touched me.
Oh,
you can feel it. Oh yeah.
Or you get
when you're live and you get that, like if you go see a band live and you don't know the band, you don't know the music, but that happens when you're paying attention, you know you're feeling, you know what I'm talking about. Yep. You're feeling that. You're like, oh my gosh, I fucking love that guitar player. Now you love that band.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
I miss those days. It's time to get back out.
Dude.
You know what I need to do? I'm going to find a band that just needs a guitar player.
There you go.
And I just, because I'm kind of at that point too, where like I want that side project too. I just want to go plug in my guitar. I don't want to focus on lyrics or screaming or singing or like any of that stuff. And here's my riffs. Let's make a song out of it.
Just metal the shit up. Hell yeah.
Yeah. That's hell
yeah, brother.
Anyway.
Right. Yeah. Okay. 2 more things and then we're out.
Yeah, no problem.
Desert Island guitar. Any guitar. Let's say you got one guitar you can play for the rest of your life. Doesn't matter. What is it?
Well, if it's Desert Island, is there an amplifier too? And electricity? If it's a desert island, I need an acoustic.
Don't let the facts get in the way of a good story. It's whatever you need. Whatever your desert island rig. All right.
See this guy?
Oh, there you go. Yeah, there you go.
Probably this guy. Oh,
all right.
My camera's a little goofy. But here, hold on.
Oh,
here, hold on.
Yeah.
I think I can go. Stop. Bam. There you go.
There it is. Yeah, it's beautiful.
There you go. I mean, it's very. I like this model. It's just very plain, but it sounds fucking good.
Yeah,
sounds
absolutely,
great.
Absolutely.
And the only downside, no cutaway. So but I I actually didn't think of that. But until I got in, because I think when I was testing it out, I was playing certain things and it just didn't cross my mind, and then all of a sudden I'm like, oh shit, no cutout.
Yeah.
But that's all right, because I'll use it for things that don't require a cutout, or I'll improvise and I'll adapt.
Yeah, there you go. And then the last question. This may take a little bit, or you might just have it right away. I don't know. You're a smart guy. What is one song that you wish you wrote?
So, a song that I wish I wrote. That is an interesting question. Let's see here. Oh, fuck. That's hard, Johnny. That's a really hard one.
It's super duper hard.
I'm trying to think of let's think of the great songs.
You don't have to. Don't even go back into this. If there's a song that I don't know, whatever band, whatever it is, doesn't matter what it is. Man,
there's that one song that's like, I get knocked down.
Oh, you're tub thumping?
They're never gonna keep me down.
I heard that the other day. That is not. No, you're full. No,
that's not my answer. That's not my answer. But it's close. Actually, you know what it is right now? Shipping Up to Boston by Dropkick Murphys. Oh. Shipping Up to Boston. Oh.
Okay.
That's the one.
All right.
Now my answer might change tomorrow, but if I had to pick, that one, when I hear that, I don't know if you know that one, but like the song, when it starts out, it's got like it's like a accordion, whatever, harmonica kind of thing coming in. And it makes you feel like you're walking to a fight. I don't know. You're walking.
Is it that one?
Something big is coming up right around the corner. I don't know what it is about that song, but it gets me fired up for anything. It could be martial arts, could be whatever. Like,
is it that one that's in commercials?
I'm a sailor peg, and I lost my leg.
I don't know. I have to look
climbing
it
up
up.
the top sail.
All right, what's that called again?
You gotta look it up. Dropkick
Boston?
Murphys shipping up to Boston. It's like
Boston.
one of the most famous ones.
I wonder if that's the one that's in my head. I know it. Yeah, and I know what you're talking about for sure. All right, cool. Okay,
I hope that helps.
Oh, hell yeah, dude. Hell yeah. I asked the question, you answered the question. Okay, plug your shit right quick.
Oh, well, thank you. Not much to plug. I used to have a million things to plug. Now it's just soldout.tv. If you go to Sold Out, and that's SOULED, soldout.tv. Go there. It'll link you to all the projects, all the tentacles of the operation. And we are, we're content creators. We're musicians, podcasters, artists of various types. Actually, the platform, it's not just me. It's, connecting a lot of different people. And there's a lot of content on there. And if you like the content and you want access to more of it, we have a premium or subscriber only, members only, exclusive content portion to the website that you can access for $3.69 a month. And honestly, it's a good list so far, and it's going to just continue to grow over time. And maybe down the road, Johnny, maybe you come on down and we record a little acoustic session or something down here, and that gets put on the platform, Yeah. So that's the main thing, soldout.tv, and you'll find all the other links and kind of get a vibe for what we're doing. And thanks for asking me to come on the podcast. And obviously, I'm always down for that. And we got to get you on here, whether it's in person or via Skype. I prefer if it's in person. Actually, I like to have you come make the trek.
Yeah, it's fun.
Way more fun.
Yeah. It's more fun, but adulting.
Plus we can get some burgers afterward or something like that, or whatever. I know you wouldn't turn that down.
Oh, hell no. Right? Oh, hell no. All right. No, that's awesome. No, I appreciate it, dude, for doing this. He hosts all my links. So soldout.tv/Johnny Ruckus will get you wherever you want to, go to. So, all right, everybody, I appreciate it. And I'll see you in a couple weeks. Bye now.
Take care, everybody.